Yon, welcome back sa Teacher Mark Reacts. Ang pag-uusapan natin si Senator Pia, no? Sinabon. Sinabon yung Magna Carta for Seafarers ni Raffy Tulfo. So, alam niyo naman nung last time gumawa tayo ng video regarding this one na sinasabi natin na this law is copy-paste. Munti ko nang sabihin copyrighted, no? It is a copy-paste law na parang lahat ng mga existing na batas pinagsama-sama niya para masabihin niyang Magna Carta niya. Diba? So, bago ang lahat guys, gusto ko munang batiin si No Nonsense. Ayan, magandang hapon or gabi sa'yo. Stone Trooper, Reniel, Miss Christine, Consulier, iilan na lumalaban kay RT pati self niya. Sabi dito, 69, Imperius, magandang hapon or gabi. Capsuza, magandang gabi. Radian, baka paggawa ni Idol yung bill niya sa ibang abogado, kaya di niya kabisado. Ayun, ngayon ko lang nalaman, abogado pala si Pia. Abogado siya, no? Silang dalawang magkapatid. Ayun, good evening guys. Sabi na Dictus Rex, Marie, magandang gabi. GM Yap, Snowflakes, Joel Lanes, ayun, magandang gabi. Perfect Defect, Cesa, Nelsita Constantino, Cesa, Juna Renia, magandang hapon sa'yo or gabi. Kratos Castor, ayan. Marie, Roel Rodriguez, Rose Belmano, magandang gabi. JM Yap Limhoko, Payne, Dorzilla, Ern, RS, magandang gabi. King Muriem, ayan. Meruem. Lagi ko nakakalimutan kung paano. Meruem. Chris, magandang hapon sa'yo or gabi. Taga Bagyo, ayan. Teddy Between, Marie Linda, Valencia, Mojo Jojo. Yon, good evening. Parang nabara din tong Magna Carta for Seafarers ni Idol sa interpellation ni Senator Coco Pimentel kung tama ako. Yes, nabara din siya. No? Pero sabi nga ni PBBM, i-rush daw di ba? Priority bill. Ewan ko kung anong nangyari. Pero, there's something wrong. Diba, Queen Bratinella, Elcid, magandang gabi teach, sabi dito. Valerie Serna, B-Rock, pa-shoutout po please, magandang gabi. Joanna Fernando, patito. Zari, Silent Scream, Sinen, Sunny Ignacio, magandang gabi. Jeff Nat, magandang gabi. Christian Alingsod, Queen Brat, magandang gabi sa'yo. Gary Santos, JP Gon, ayan, magandang gabi. Lenlensky, Ethan, Bruce Lee, magandang gabi. Otaku Weeb, magandang gabi sa'yo. Tina Soniga, magandang gabi. 4Will D, Jerry YGSS, what a day. Hello Teacher Mark, hello. Jesus Duyanin, baka di naman siya gumawa, puro utos lang, dagdag mo to. Ito pa. Birak, binida niya kanina sa live na malapit na maging batas ang Magna Carta niya. Ang dami kasing kailangan magpropose ka ng Magna Carta tapos halos lahat ang daming revisions, ang daming palitan mo yung ganito, palitan mo yung ganyan. So there's something wrong, di ba? Chang Ji, May Agana, Masay, Cecil Anastasio, good evening. Fahid, Melcy, Dinoy, A Day in Life TV, Gandhi Abad, Sendong, and Libra Tommy. Ayan, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. At Elise Pahabol. Ayan. So, pakinggan muna natin
Mr. President,
Yes,
Yeah.
Senator Cayetano is recognized.
I'm actually trying to follow because I have amendments and might touch upon them, and I cannot follow because we're jumping. It appears that the sponsor is introducing amendments by various colleagues. I understand, no, that they have different sections, but we need to slow it down so we can follow, and it will make it easier for the sponsor, so I don't have to repeat. As it is, I will probably have to repeat some because I was not able to follow, Your Honor.
No worries.
Talagang mabusisi, no? Talagang dahan-dahan lang. Wala tayong ano. Sabi nga ni PBBM, priority bill. Ito namang isa, binilisan yung pagsasabi, no? Pagsasalita. Gusto ni Ma'am Pia, mabusisi. Tignan muna kung tama ba.
Can we start at
Maybe
least
ask-
with this one?
With this particular one, can
Yeah.
you state, it's not kasi in my list, it's not in my list, it's a new amendment. So what was the page again and
It's on
line?
page 31,
Okay, one second.
Mr. President,
Page 31.
line 2,
One second, sir.
page 31,
Line 2.
line 2, section 56.
Okay, please proceed, Your Honor.
After the word government, insert the phrase shall bear the cost of medical care and
Tama ba?
quarantine expenses. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there an objection from our colleagues? There being none, amendment is approved.
Additional, Mr. President, on the same page, on page 31, lines 22 to 24, after the word technology, delete the rest of the sentence. I so move, Mr. President.
There being no objection to the amendment?
Mr.
I-
President,
Please,
Actually, sorry, as I
Formadong
said, I'm trying to
idol
follow.
natin yan.
My concern
na.
is the previous amendment.
Ayan na. Start na ng sabunan. Dahil sinasabon ni RT yung mga iba sa Senado, siya naman ngayon. Ayan. Banaobra, hello, hello?
Oh, which one? The last one that he mentioned?
The one,
Did he just read?
not the one that's on the floor now, just the previous one after
It was
Philippine government, insert.
Page
Page
31,
31.
line 2.
Yes.
After Philippine government, Mr.
Yes.
Sponsor, you said to put the words,
After the word government, insert the phrase shall bear the cost of medical care and quarantine expenses. Yun po yung sinabi ko.
Yes.
Okay, with that one, no, yung the Philippine government will handle the cost of quarantine and medical expenses. Ganito kasi yan, no. Anyway, gusto ko munang i-build up pala ay si Mang Rene, no. Itatopic niya rin to. If you want to see this, no, dun sa point of view ng isang seaman, kasi seaman naman dati si Mang Rene, no, and mas kabisado niya to, no. I would highly suggest you to like his channel. Sandali, i-drop ko yung ano, ha. Ito. Yan, para makita nyo, no, yung point of view in depth nito. Well, pagdating dito, no, pag yung may handle kasi niyan, no, hindi naman Philippine government. Ang may handle niyan, no, from one point to another point. For example, ikaw ay nagtapos yung kontrata mo somewhere in Australia. 'Di ba? Tapos uuwi ka ng Pilipinas. Yung gagastusin mo when it comes to the quarantine and so on and so forth, ang may handle niyan yung employer mo. Wrong link ba? Sorry. Wait lang. Kunin ko. Eto. Sorry guys, no? Copy. Ayan. Ano na lang natin. Pin na lang natin. Ayan. Ang may sagot niyan, yung kumpanya mo, yung flagship mo. Ngayon, ang gustong gawin ni Rafi Tulfo, hayaan nyo na yung mga kumpanya, hindi nila gagastusin yan. Ang gagastos sa kanila ay yung Pilipinas. Di ba? Parang, teka. Makakatipid na tayo kasi sila yung gagastos yan eh. Bakit? Iobliga mo yung gobyerno na gumastos doon sa isang bagay na hindi naman sila dapat yung gagastos. Diba?
I captured that. In the succeeding amendments, if you could kindly read the entire provision as to how it will read, so it's easy for us to capture the entire sentence. Otherwise, I'm scribbling notes to capture the entire sentence. But on that note, that's why I belatedly captured it. I'm just explaining why delayed yung aking reaction. The Philippine government will carry the cost of care. I think we need to be careful about that because in as much as I would like the Philippine government to take care of all OFWs, even PhilHealth cannot cover all the sicknesses of the Filipinos.
May point siya. Kasi, all, di ba? Kung lahat, obligado ang Pilipinas na saluhin lahat ng gastos. Diba? It's a very vague statement. Ngayon, pag sinabi mong all of the healthcare, ano ka, itche mo? Sayang oras na naman. Diba? Feeling siguro nito, ito, kanina natin, let's be frank, no? Hindi naman mayaman ng Pilipinas. Oh. Ngayon, ang gusto mo saluhin ng Pilipinas lahat ng gastos. Saan natin kukunin yung panggastos? For example, anemic cancer. Saan tayo kukuha ng panggastos? 3 may cancer. At kung ano-ano pa. Diba? Akala siguro na Rapi Tulfo, ilan lang yung mga marino natin. Sobrang dami nating marino, tapos lahat yun i-handle ng Pilipinas. Ang kukuha ng budget.
So kailangan reasonable po ang expectations natin kasi mahirap pong mangako na hindi naman natin kayang ituparin. So
Shots fired. Shots fired. Oh, dahan-dahan lang, Senator Pia, no? Mahirap mangako nang hindi naman kayang tuparin. Well, sanay na sanay doon. Sila idol. Yung pinangakuan ka na nga, gusto mo pa, tuparin pa. Diba? Basag na basag. Hello, Maple. Magandang hapon sa'yo. Daddy Rico, magandang hapon. Panis. Exactly, sir. Ganyan lagi magsalita manita si Raprap. Kala mo sobrang yaman ng Pilipinas. Doon pa nga lang sa sa mga funds, 'di ba, sa committee hearing ng finance, lagi niyang sinasabi, magkano bang kinukuha mo? 30 million? O sige, doblehin natin 'yan. Magkano? 1 billion? Mababa pa 'yan, 2 billion kunin mo. Sana naisip niya, 'di ba? Sana naisip niya kung saan kukunin yung pera. Well, unless may pabrika tayo ng pera, 'di ba? Pwede siguro. But as far as I know, wala eh.
So, may I suggest that the sponsor revisit that and come up with language that is more reasonable?
Sa foundation niya kukunin. Asa pa tayong sa foundation niya kukunin yun? Di ba?
Mr. President, I was just saying that when you state that the government will handle the cost of care, medyo even PhilHealth cannot handle all, no? Lahat ng may cancer, gusto ko sagutin ng PhilHealth. Lahat ng may renal problems, gusto ko i-cover nila lahat ng dialysis. Pero may hangganan yung
And take note ha, pagdating dyan sa PhilHealth, hindi naman buo eh. A certain part, yes. Pero hindi nila kayang buo na saluhin. Diba? Tapos gusto mo 100%? Ganun ba yun? Mutik yan.
yung kakayanan. So wag tayong magpaasa na hindi naman kakayanin. And my request was to improve the language so that it's reasonable.
Kailangan niya bumalik sa RTI para dumami ang views para kumita ang YouTube niya. Well, actually, automatic yun. Thursday and Friday, wala siya sa Senado. Lagi siyang nasa RTIA. If you check, no? Laging ganun. Sabi ni Addictus Rex, ambiguous. Lumalabas yung nandun. Hello, Trending TV. Magandang hapon or gabi sa'yo. Bitter Guard. Go Pia. Sabi dito, four-wheel D. Regardless teach, dapat matupad ang gusto ni Rap Rap. Diba? Matupad nga. Tayo naman kawawa. Pilipinas naman kawawa. Sobrang dami na nating... Ayun, nagtataka kayo. Itong mga, itong mga tanong ng tanong, bakit ang laki ng nagagastos ng Pilipinas, no? Palaki ng palaki yung debt natin. Kasi may mga ganitong bagay na, alam mo, hindi na pinag-isipan. Sige lang ng sige. It will be prone to abuse, Teacher Mark. Ships will just excuse and endorse to PH government everything and escape responsibility if this is the assumption. Kasi wala naman silang gagastusin eh. Regardless kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan nung marino nila, di ba? Hindi na kadaming sagot ka ng Pilipinas. So nagkaroon pa sila ng HMO. Di ba? Ay, hindi ka na namin kayang i-support eh. So balik ka na lang ng Pilipinas. Total ang Pilipinas naman ang sagot. May sagot diyan sa sa mga sakit mo. Diba? Sila naman gagastos. So don't worry. Ganun ba 'yon?
To the good, Mr. President, to the good sponsor, we're referring here upon arrival at the point of hire, which is dito sa Pilipinas, up to the seafarer's return to the place of domicile. Doon lang po. So pag dumating po dito sa Pilipinas at nag-quarantine siya, halimbawa mayroong pandemic na nangyari, emergency, then the government will take care of all the expenses covered doon sa time na siya ay nasa quarantine.
But Rafi Tulfo, based on the previous pandemic, it was handled by those private companies. So what's the need? Why the Philippine government should pay for it if it is already handled by the private company? Hindi ba dagdag gastos lang yon for the Philippine government? Diba? Andiyan na naman si Rosalinda. Ay, Rosalinda, nakalimutan mo, di ba? May 24 hours na dito, na silence. Behave ka lang dyan, baka ma-silence ka dyan.
Until siya makauwi. Walang pinag-usapan po rito tungkol sa cancer, tungkol sa chemotherapy or kidney dialysis, etc. Mr. President.
So,
Hindi. Kung ganun, you must be clear. No? Ayun. Nasa ambulan ni Queen Brad eh. Then you must be clear with your statement. Diba? It should not be sweeping. Kasi kung sweeping, there's a false assumption.
the obligation of the government is limited to the quarantine because this provision refers to in case of epidemic or pandemic. I
Yes.
do not know what epidemic and pandemics there will be in the future. I am totally
Parang ganon. Diba? O sige, kakatapos lang ng COVID ngayon. So tingin nyo, wag naman sana, in the future, bakit kung magkakaroon pa ng pandemic, is it the same as right now? Hindi naman natin masabi na it is the same. Kasi as time changes, the viruses evolve. Hindi natin alam, mas malala na yung next pandemic kung kailan man yun. Diba? Sabi ni Mang Rene dito, ayan, gagalit to si Mang Rene. Hindi ka pa delivered safety sa point of hire kasi may quarantine pa. Kaya shoulder pa yan ng company until clear ka na and ready to go to your home, to your respective province. Yun nga yung hindi maintindihan ni Tulfo. Ang gusto niya nga, Pilipinas yung sumugot. Ay naku.
unable to predict what kind of care will be required. To say that they will be cared for in quarantine, okay na po yun. Pero all the cost of care, mahirap po yun. Kasi kung lahat yan, mga ilangan na ma-intubate, hindi ho kakayanin yun. Tapos magiging obligation of the state yan and they will not be able to perform. So I am
Agree, magiging kasalanan lang ng state yan. Sasabihin nila, why? Bakit gumawa kayo ng batas na ganito kung hindi nyo rin kayang tuparin? Diba? Basta siya magbayad. Ang tanong, diba? Ang tanong, babayaran ba niya? Mr. Tulfo, ang Pilipinas ay isang third world country pero bakit tayo ang aako ng obligasyon ng foreign employer na obvious ay isang first world country? I don't see the logic. The specificity is the problem. So, if it is not in the case of pandemic, the rights won't apply. Pointless. That is not a Magna Carta. It is if rights are not general in application. Etong Magna Carta naman niya, it's a mashed up, no? Mashed up of all the laws regarding seafarers tapos made into one. And then just change the title to Magna Carta so that it rings a bell. Diba? Feeling ni RT, nasa US siya kasi US citizen siya. Kaloka ka-ID. Dami na nating utang, tapos palalaki mo pa yung utang eh.
just putting that on record because we have to be mindful of the limitations of the ability of government.
I understand, Mr. President, Your Honor, pero
Flower Neric, hello?
even before doon po sa example ko sa nangyaring pandemic, yung mga returning OFWs, pagdating po sa
Wait. Are you serious? Ano yung Magna Carta mo? For seafarers. Ba't ginawa mong, although OFW din naman sila. Pero, ba't classify mo as a whole? Magkaiba naman yung trabaho ng isang OFW land-based kaysa dun sa seafarer. Kaya nga Magna Carta for seafarer yan, hindi Magna Carta for OFWs. Ay. Hello, Rose Lester. Magandang hapon sa'yo. Magandang gabi. Pabati po ang anak kong maganda na si Via. Ayan, magandang gabi sa'yo, Via. Sa pakabait ka para kay mami mo, no? Pinipilit talaga ang gusto niya para spoiled brat. Nahihilo-hilo si RT. Ibig sabihin, redundant talaga yung pinagsasabi niya. Ganda utal-utal. Yes, I understand. Halatang ob talaga si Idol, sabi rito.
kanilang quarantine, food, and up to the time na sila po ay mabalik sa kanilang domicile, yan po ay kinocover na po ng ating gobyerno through OWA. So I don't see any reason bakit natin hindi pagpatuloy yung dati ng ginagawa nating gobyerno. Plus, pagdating sa pandemic, wala naman po siguro sa pandemic.
That is a different thing, Rafi Tulfo. You can ask Mang Rene. Mang Rene went home. No, umuwi si Mang Rene during pandemic. Alam ang sabi niya? Handles, yung sa kanya ha, handle yun ng employer niya. Until makauwi siya dun sa bahay nila. Nung sa pandemic, no, yung mga emergency repatriations, no, yun, handle ng government natin. Diba? Out of goodwill. Kasi nga, they are our citizens. Now, no, since we don't want the virus to spread right away, the government has no choice. Kasi nga, mahal. Mahal ang karantin. Isipin mo na lang, kukuha ka ng sarili mong hotel. For how many days? If you got sick, saan ka kukuha ng pera? Diba? So, naging, since the government, no, the Philippines, must take care of his or her, no, citizens, ganun yung ginawa ng gobyerno natin during pandemic dun sa mga OFW. But those seafarers are not. Rapi Tulfo, they have their companies. Diba? They are still under contract, Rapi Tulfo, hanggang makauwi sila sa bahay nila. Nandun ba sila sa airport? Under contract pa rin sila nun. Doon sa mga OFW na umuwi, no? Wala nang kontrata yon. Wala na silang aasahan, Rapi Tulfo.
Pandemic na ang naging result after sa pandemic, sila po ay nagkasakit sa kidney, sila po ay nagkasakit sa cancer and all. Ang pinag-usapan lang dito is yung quarantine, na habang sila nasa quarantine, yung po i-cover ng ating gobyerno, which
You don't get the point, eh, 'di ba? For now, you know, the concept of quarantine that you know, no, is based with the COVID. Ang punto ni Senator Pia is, what if the quarantine needed is different from COVID? Yun yung hindi mo magets. What if it is expensive than what it is right now? Can the Philippines handle it? Di ba? Yun yung hindi magets eh. Kasi it's very, if you think narrowly, yes, example, pandemic right now, but hindi mo alam. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na the pandemic next time will be the same as the pandemic right now. Diba? Rafi is taking this for granted just for the sake of producing an output even if it is low quality one. I understand, di ka nga nakakaintindi, tigas ng ulo mo. Rap mag-grandstanding ka para maipasayan. Sabi dito.
nagawa naman sa sa nakaraang pandemic, Mr. President, Your Honor.
To be clear, Mr. President, hindi ko sinasabing magkaka-cancer sila.
Ay, nako, argumento mo. Di ba? Kung di pa yan, ano, sabi dito, kung di pa yan, sinertipikahan ni PBBM, wala yang maipapasang bill na aabot at matatapos ng third reading. LOL. Diba? Hindi marunong tumanggap ng correction and suggestion. Sabi ni Mary, nagmamagaling si Tulfo para bida siya lagi. Diba? Shots fired. For insight. Nakakaano, no? You are planning to send out a Magna Carta for the seafarers, but your insights are very, very short. No? Well, in fact, you should be more, no? You should be more you should look forward. No? Hindi yung what is in front of you lang. Jan Sander, magandang gabi.
Nagbigay lang ho ako ng halimbawa na maski po lahat ng sakit na nagaganap, eh hindi kayang sagutin ng PhilHealth. Hindi ko ho sinabing magkaka-cancer po yung OFW na kina-quarantine. On that note,
Sunog. Next, kailangan lagi ng coach, di ba? Lintik na yan, asa lagi.
Your Honor, I think it will suffice if the records will bear that this is the reasonable care expected to be given to any Filipino, no? That would have to be quarantined. Reasonable care. Any Filipino. Pareho lang naman ang natatanggap, di ba? I think fair naman po yun. May I ask that the gentleman in the back be conscious that there's a official debate going on here. Sorry, hindi ko lang kasi marinig ang
Napagalitan tuloy kayo. Grabe, nakakatakot si Senator P, ano? Sipin mo na lang, no? Ingay nyo eh. Ay, naku.
sponsor. Medyo seryosong usapan namin dito.
Non-sequitur spotted idol. Hindi yan, ito ha, kung yung taong kausap mo is very keen with those things, hindi yan talaga hindi yan papasok. Nagkataon lang talaga, kausap ni Rafi Tulfo, babae, tapos Senator Pia, tapos attorney pa. Kryptonite niya babae. Remember the last time, di ba, sa PCSO, Di ba?
Ask our colleagues to settle down.
Thank you. So with that, Your Honor, I have no amendment. I just wanted, if His Honor agrees with my statement, then that will be on record na yan ang interpretation ng
Okay.
amendment na yan.
Thank you.
Noted,
Thank you.
Mr. President. Pero
Thank you.
just as a
Noted lang. Seryoso ka, Idel? Hindi mo nagigets yung point, tapos noted lang. Hey.
point, Mr. President, Your Honor, ang sinasabi kasi namin dito, in cases of epidemic or pandemic as declared by the World Health Organization, yun lang
That's not the point, Rafi Tulfo. That's not the point.
po yun, Mr. President. Upon arrival at the point of hire, up to the seafarer's return to the place of domicile. After that,
Basa pa, sige. You don't get the point kasi, di ba? It's not about the pandemic or ganito or ganyan. The point is, no, will the Philippines or can the Philippines handle the monetary cost of those?
wala na po. Wala nang obligasyon ng gobyerno sa gastusin kung ano pa man ma-incur after na siya po ay makatapos sa quarantine and siya po ay naibalik na sa kanyang bahay. Labas na po sa lahat ng gastusin ang ating gobyerno.
Okay. Let's take your argument, no? Tabas na po ang gobyerno after quarantine at maibalik na siya sa bahay. During the quarantine, no, lumala yung sakit niya. Kailangan siyang intubate, Rafi Tulfo. Since your argument, no, kapag wala na siya sa quarantine, nakauwi na siya sa bahay nila, doon lang mawawala, di ba? Eh nasa atin pa. Nasa gobyerno pa. Ni-intubate. Sinong gagastos nun? Ang tanong ko lang naman ha, sinong gagastos nun? Kasi ang sabi mo, malinaw, di ba? Pag wala na sa poder natin, nakauwi na ng bahay, outside na tayo doon. Di ba?
Your Honor, Mr. President.
Thank you.
But however, para mapagbigyan po, the good senator from Taguig,
Ay, wow! Ang lakas! Para mapagbigyan lang, no? Putik yun. Ang ganda nung point na sinabi, tapos sinabi mo lang, para mapagbigyan. O, sige. Ay.
Senator Pia Cayetano, sige, we can compromise by deleting medical care. So it will appear now shall bear the cost of quarantine.
Is that the amendment? You want to amend the amendment that you made?
Yes,
So we'll
Diba? Tinulungan ka na nga dun sa batas mo, pinahiya mo pa. O sige, para mapagbigyan ka. Sige, sige. What? Ay. Magic. You're right. Makamahirap si Idol. Sabi dito. Ano ba sabi ni Magic? Saan ba si Magic? Hirap pumintindi. Ayan, Teacher Mark. Sabi dito. Makamahirap talaga si Idol. Gusto niya talaga na mahirap talaga tayong lahat. Diba? He wants us, gusto niya tayong mag-bear. No? Na wala na amendment. Inayos at malinaw ang bill bago ipasa to para kung sakali walang vagueness. Pagdating kay Idol, pag kinorek mo yung vagueness na yon, ikaw yung mali.
revisit. We'll reconsider
We
the
will-
previous amendment.
we will reconsider, Mr. President, taking into consideration the suggestion of the good senator.
We ask for the reconsideration.
What? Reconsider. Titanong ka, if it is amendment, bakit ikaw pinalitan mo na ha? If it is an amendment, tapos sasabihin mo, reconsider. What?
I just like to recognize my two dear friends from Cagayan de Oro and
Joke, di ba? Pinalitan niya na eh. Was that an amendment? Yes. Sabihin mo ba, reconsider mo, ano? Napakamot tuloy yung ano dun sa babao. Ay, naku. Ano ba naman to?
Misamis Oriental. We have with us Governor, mga kapitbahay ko po sa Cagayan. There is
The paragraph preceding that the paragraph that okay, section 56 has two paragraphs, no? May I get clarification from the sponsor that the first paragraph of section 56 refers to the ship owner's responsibility for the expense of medical care and board and lodging for periods spent by seafarer in self-isolation or quarantine until the seafarer has been duly repatriated to the point of hire. In other words, ang ibig sabihin nito ay kung bumabiyahe yung barko at kahit tumigil kung saan mang bansa, it's the ship owner who will take care. Is that correct so far?
That is correct, Your Honor, Mr. President, Your Honor.
And then, sabi in the last sentence of that, in the last phrase of that paragraph, until the seafarer has been duly repatriated to the point of hire. So possible yan, ang point of hire is not in the Philippines, correct? So for example, na-hire siya in Hong Kong or wherever.
No, Mr.
So
President.
what does it mean?
No, Mr. President, point of hire is always Manila, Philippines.
Okay, so in that case, the next paragraph which says, upon arrival at the point of hire, in other words, sa Pilipinas, up to the seafarer's return to the place of domicile. Ano ba domicile niya? Di ba
Ibig sabihin,
Pilipinas din?
Mr. President, Your Honor, kapag halimbawa siya ay sa taga Davao, so yan yung domicile niya, pero point of hire niya is Manila, Philippines. So domicile is kung saan po siyang probinsya,
Hello,
kung saan po
Sadboy.
siya nakatira, depende po. Pero kung siya po ay nakatira sa Manila, then wala na, alisin natin, understood na yung place of domicile niya is Manila. Mr. President, Mr.
I note that, but I will put on record something, Your Honor. I just need a second to pull up the file.
With a good sponsor, the lady senator, I'll suspend for a minute so
Okay,
that
okay.
maybe you can just fix the lines.
Okay.
Then we can revisit it. So I'll suspend for just
Actually, Your Honor, I can just tell His Honor now my concern if the proper use of if the proper land.
Ang tanong dito, di ba? What if you are hired in a different country? So that means hindi ka sakop? Ganun ba 'yon? Kasi yun yung lumalabas eh. 'Di ba? Dapat ang point of origin mo lagi Manila. Hello Tamayo, magandang gabi.
Language is domicile or residence.
Guys, may MLC 2006 at POEA sa section 2020 na. So, sabi ko nga, it's copy lang, di ba?
I think it's residence, but that's why
Point of hire is always Manila. What if nga, di ba? What if you got hired on a different country? Di ba?
I said, let me pull out the file because I will read into the record and His Honor can agree or disagree if residence or domicile is the better terminology to use.
maybe it's better we just suspend.
Ganun na nga. Paano kung sa Cebu na hire? Ang gusto niya, ang point of origin lagi sa Manila. Ay. And ito they should cover domestic as well. Hindi lang foreign, no? Or overseas. It should be, since it's Magna Carta for seafarers, walang limitation. Either domestic or overseas. Ngayon, ang point of hire mo lagi Manila. Paano yung nasa ibang lugar? For example, point of hire nila Mindanao. Point of hire nila Visayas. Diba?
And for 1 minute, so session suspended.
We allowed the presiding
Suspend. Okay, bilisan natin. Natagal to. Tun, 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 tun. Okay. Sabi dito, pag ganyan ang batas, Teacher Mark, mauubos ang local seaman natin dahil mag-abroad na lang dahil sa batas na to. Sabi dito.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
If I may continue what I was saying, I was
Ayan,
pointing
may ano na.
out that the bill refers to the obligation of the seafarer, the obligation of the ship owner or manning agency to take care, to be responsible for the expenses of medical care of the seafarer when in self-isolation or quarantine until the seafarer has been repatriated to the point of hire. And then the next paragraph goes on to say, upon arrival at the point of hire, which the sponsor said is always the Philippines,
Manila.
up to the seafarer's return to the place of domicile, the Philippine
Uy,
government
maraming salamat sa 800 viewers.
will take care of his quarantine.
Hmm.
I asked if his honor means domicile or residence, and the sponsor said that he is just following what is contained in the
MLC.
Maritime Labor
MLC.
Convention.
See? Dapat concise and clear. See? Eto ha, tignan nyo ha. Si Senator Pia na mismo nagsabi ha.
Just following what is contained in the
MLC.
Maritime Labor Convention.
Oh, it's already contained in the Maritime Labor Convention. So what's the point of putting it? Ay.
But this is a Philippine law, so we have to be sure what we are referring to, because under Philippine law, there is a difference between residence and domicile.
Yes.
And the obligation of the Philippine government will be affected if the person does not return to the domicile.
Okay, check natin. What is domicile para alam natin ha? Domicile, the country that the person treats as their permanent home or lives in has a substantial connection with. Paano pag yung domicile mo, hindi naman Pilipinas? 'Di ba? Would that affect something? Ay, nako. Dapat residence. Kasi nga, it's within the part of the Philippines. Diba?
Right to choose kung ano yung final repatriation destination niya. Either the point of hire or point
Sisihin niya yung stop niya bakit may domicile.
of domicile. Point of domicile.
Coach Pamor, diba? O sige, sige. Ano sabi niya doon sa sa Ruiz, diba? Attorney, kulang ka pa ng bag dito, bulungan mo, tagyan mo. Ganun yung sinabi niya, di ba? Bulungan mo maigi, attorney. Edgar, hello.
Permanent.
Okay, doon kasi sa contract, Mr. President, Your Honor, nakaspecify point of hire and point of domicile where he or she can choose kung saan siya babagsak at never na ang saan?
Saan siya babagsak? Anong kinalaman nung saan siya babagsak? Domicile. Ito ha. Point of origin. Diba? Sa, let's say, na-hire siya sa saan ba? Saudi. No? Tapos nagpaikot-ikot siya sa around the world. Huminto. No? Huminto yung yung barko dito sa, let's say, Singapore. 'Di ba? Ang domicile niya Pilipinas. So uwi siya ng domicile sa Pilipinas. Hindi doon sa Singapore mismo. Ay, naku.
Kung saan siya babalik in case of repatriation, because we're talking here of repatriation. So therefore, like you mentioned and I've mentioned earlier, sa MLC, Maritime Labor Code,
Hmm.
2006, never kasi na-mention doon yung word residence. They always use the term
Joke na siya. Mahirap mukhang hindi inaral ni Artie yung sponsored bill niya. Joke na siya eh, di ba? Teacher Mark, nasan ba kasi si Romelio? Wala bira. Siya na lang sana yung nag-interpolate, no?
never kasi na-mention doon yung word residence. They always use the term domicile in
But the problem is, Rapi Tulfo, this is a Philippine law. You are making a Magna Carta for Philippine seafarers. Rapi Tulfo. It should be your own. Hindi yung, ito kasi yung nakasulat dun sa MLC. Diba? Wala na akong makagawa dyan.
referring to
Dada Orly and Fam TV, magandang gabi.
the seafarer after he or she's been repatriated. So may point din po kayo dahil Philippine law ang pinairal natin dito. That's why much better kung gagamit tayo ng word residence. I see your point. On the
Pero-
other hand,
Alam ko nang sasabihin niya eh. Di ba? Anticipated eh. Pag ganyan yung mga sasabihin niya, may pero yan.
dito po kasi sa MLC, maging dun sa contract nitong seafarer sa SEC, sa standard employment contract, doon po sinusulat niya kung saan ang kanyang permanent domicile and never na-mention doon ang word residence. Kasi kung maglalagay tayo ng another word doon na wala po sa standard employment contract at wala po sa MLC, medyo magulo po yun, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Kasi nga, those laws, no, yung MLC is an international law. Rafi Tulfo, what you are doing right now is a law in the Philippines. Rafi Tulfo. Ngayon, nasa domicile na sila, nasa Philippines na sila. Saan pang domicile mo gusto? Hindi ba dun sa resident na yung susunod? Kasi nasa Pilipinas na sila.
Well, Your Honor, magulo din po yon if under Philippine law, you do not provide for clarity if you mean domicile or residence. What do you mean, Your Honor? What
Okay.
is your intention? At to what point will the Philippine government be responsible, domicile or resident? What is the intention of His Honor in the draft?
Oh.
The residence or the address given by the sponsor or
The face of cluelessness, Rapi Tulfo. That is the face of cluelessness. Ay, nako. Hello, Ate Bailando, sabi dito. Oo. Hotel na. Di ba? That is the face of cluelessness. Ano ba? Ting. Posterize. Alam mo yung walang ano kayo sinasabi nito?
Okay, the domicile is same as the address given by the seafarer when he signed his contract doon po sa SEC, Standard Employment Contract. Doon po nakalagay yung kanyang exact address under the word domicile. Ganon din po doon sa MLC, yung word domicile ang means na yun po yung kanyang place of residence. And again, I would like to put it on record na I see your point, Your Honor.
No. You don't get her point, Idol. Di ba? This should be a Philippine law. It is redundant to say na nasa Pilipinas na kayo tapos uwi pa kayo ng domicile nyo. Place of domicile. Your place of domicile is the Philippines already. You should change it to residence. Kasi after your domicile being the Philippines, your next stop will be your residence.
Na this is Philippine law we're talking about, dapat under Philippine law, gamitin
Oo. Diba? Tama naman.
natin yung word residence. However, since wala naman po yung word residence, maging sa standard employment contract na pinirmahan ng ating seafarer and maging sa MLC, baka magkaroon ng konting confusion doon.
No, Rafi Tulfo, you don't get it. Ito kasi, yung kumpanya, 'di ba? Sa kanila hanggang the point of domicile, which is Pilipinas. 'Di ba? Ngayon, pag nandito na sa Pilipinas dahil ang gusto mo, ang Philippine government ang magti-take care sa kanila. Okay, sige. 'Di ba? Ngayon, ano bang sasabihin mong domicile? Nasa Pilipinas na sila. Ang susunod doon, residence na nila, Rafi Tulfo. 'Di ba? So, it should be clear. At pag sinabi niyan, sir, hindi po dito yung domicile ko eh. Pinoy ako pero nandito ako sa Pilipinas. Pero yung domicile ko sa saan ba? Let's say domicile ko sa Malaysia. Ay, naku.
Because two different, dun sa dalawa, domicile always been mentioned and never na-mention yung word na residence. Mr. President, Your Honor.
Paano pag dalawang residence? Parang may kilala akong ganun. Di ba? Dual citizen. Philippine tapos /US. Ang sinulat niyang land of domicile niya, US. Pero nasa Pilipinas siya. So hanggang makauwi siya ng US, ganun?
Do I remember correctly that in the first part of his honor's answer, he said in the standard employment contract, he would indicate as his domicile, his what? What did his honor say? Place of residence, place of permanent residence? What was the statement made?
Asayan mo?
Our deputation of repatriation.
Hindi sa plan, sabi niya kasi sa SEC. Nakalagay doon domicile. Meron tayong po kanyo.
Buti pa sila, no? Nagbubulungan dito. alam na yung alam na yung kwentuhan di ba? Yan yung sinasabi nila na dapat marunong tayo magpatay ng mic. Hindi kasi yan inhered legislation na hindi nakapatay yung mic mo lagi. Para pag sinabi mong makasingit, ready agad. Di ba? Ay, naku.
Saan din sa SEC to? Okay. Your Honor, sa kanyang standard employment contract, again, dun sa part ng repatriation, it refers to the process of returning seafarer to the point of hire or the seafarer's place of domicile. Yun po yung nakaspecify doon sa SEC. Your Honor.
But earlier, Your Honor, you said that the SEC states the domicile as something. You said that. What was that? I'm just asking for
Yeah,
His Honor to repeat that because I will try to help His Honor clarify the intention. If he just repeats, what did you say, permanent residence or current residence?
The place of domicile is the address written by the seafarer as his place of residence.
Would that be temporary or permanent? We have two residences. Diba? Iba yung permanent residence mo na doon, kaya nga, Rapi Tulfo, laging tinatanong, no, doon sa mga ano, pag nag-fill up ka, permanent residence, ilalagay mo doon. 'Di ba? Tapos current residence. Marahil iba yung current residence mo. So, you should specify what residence are you talking about. Ay, nako.
Okay.
Listed in the S standard employment contract, he or she states there his place of domicile as his home address. Your Honor.
Dalawa nga yung home address, Rapi Tulfo. Permanent, tapos current. Ay, naku. Kaya ako napapagalitan eh.
Okay, Your Honor, what I am trying to explain is under Philippine law, there is a difference between domicile and residence. So in your standard employment contract, if a seafarer will indicate a particular address and it says domicile, then that is different from residence. If it says residence, then that is different from domicile. And I would insist that Philippine law would govern. So the obligation of government is affected if he will not be able to return the seafarer to the place of domicile because that is different, that could be very different from the place of residence. So it is important that His Honor tells us what is the intention. Where
Sunog. Ay, naku, kawawa naman.
do you want the seafarer to be returned?
Okay. I thought, Your Honor, my team already talked to your team and they already agreed.
Narinig yun, guys. Sinabi niya, parang ano eh, parang lifeline.
Where do you want the seafarer to be returned?
Okay. I thought, Your Honor, my team already talked to your team and they already agreed.
Sabi niya, ano, Your Honor, napag-usapan na yan kanina, bakit mo ginigisa ngayon? Parang gano'n yung gusto niya sabihin eh, na, Your Honor, napag-usapan na nila yung kanina, bakit mo ginigisa ngayon? Pumayag na kayo eh. Diba? Wala akong kasalanan dyan, yung team ko yung may kasalanan. Ay, naku.
On that
naku.
matter.
Your Honor, it is the sponsor and I who will agree.
No,
So,
yeah, I understand.
It's not about the team. The team will just, yes, diba? We understand. But, they're not the senator. Ultimately, ang may say niyan is si Senator Pia. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na, ay, umuuna yung staff mo eh. Sabihin ni Senator Pia, bakit ako ba yung staff ko? Do they hold my decision? Sinusunog ng buhay si Arte.
Your Honor, but for the sake of brevity or for the sake of na para mapaiksi tayo and
pero kay
Nag-red hearing na. Guys. Nag-red hearing na, guys. Para, bro, para mapaiksi tayo, ganito na lang. Huwag na nating pag-usapan yan para mapaiksi tayo. Kayo naman, di ba? Ay, naku.
kailangan ho nagkakaintindihan tayo ng
magkakaintindihan
dalawa.
tayo, Your Honor. Magkakaintindihan tayong dalawa, Your Honor. Bakit natin pinag-aawayan yung domicile and
Ano natin pinag-aawayan?
place of
Sumuko. Guys, sumuko, guys. Hindi na kaya, guys. Nasunog, guys. Hindi na kaya, guys. Bakit pa kasi ginawa yung domicile na yan? Diba? Pinapahirapan niya si Idol sa domicile eh. Diba? Simple lang naman eh, bahay. Bakit nilagay niyo pa kasi yung domicile na yan eh? Ay no.
Hanag ko lang po ang use of terms natin because they have significance, Your Honor.
I was
Yes, no? When it comes to the law, as much as possible, you should be concise. No, mahirap yung vague kasi nga it is subject to many tag ito yung iba't ibang pananaw dun sa law na yon. Diba? For example, age of sexual consent. Diba? Iba yung pananaw ni Atty. Libayan when it comes to the law. Iba yung pananaw ni Fiscal AJ when it comes to the law. Iba rin yung pananaw ni Atty. Trixie when it comes to the law. Iba rin yung pananaw ni Atty. Claire when it comes to the law. Kasi nga, vagueness creates confusion. And that's what they don't want to happen.
What is the significance, Your Honor?
Hindi niya talaga mag-gets, guys. What is the interpretation eh? Maraming salamat, Regul. Hindi niya talaga mag-gets. At bakit? Para saan? Ay, nako.
What's the significance of domicile and place of residence?
I
What's so
think, Your
important?
Honor, your lawyer should be the one informing you what is the difference of domicile.
Back to you. Back to you, Rafi Tulfo. Bakit ako mag-i-explain sa'yo? May lawyer ka. Magna Carta yung gagawin mo, ha? And you don't even know. Hindi mo man lang inaral yung batas na gagawin mo. Now, you want the good senator to explain it to you, where in fact, mas mapapabilis tayo dito sa ginagawa nyo if you know. Kung pinag-aralan mo yung batas. Knowing that this is a monumental law, it is a Magna Carta, hindi basta-basta ang mga Magna Carta, guys. Diba? Pahiya uli.
Honor, your lawyer should be the one informing you what is the difference of domicile and residence.
Basag. Iba kasi yung grandstand lang, iba yung RTIA dito sa Senado. Dito, no, your arguments should, no, you should walk the talk when it comes to your arguments.
I've already been pointing out that there is a difference. If your team cannot
But Your Honor,
Sagot ka pa. Ay, nako.
out that there is a difference. If your team cannot
Your Honor, like I said,
But, ang dami na na. Ay, nako, guys. Sunog. Ayan, sabi dito. Wait lang, check natin, ha? Oop. Nasaan ba? Ito. Nasaan yung kay Jerry? Journey. Delete. Uy, shoutout nga pala. Mag-1,000 na tayo. Grabe, maraming salamat, guys. Ito. Civil Code. Yan. Tingnan natin yung domicile. Civil Code. Citizenship and domicile. Following citizens of the Philippines. Let's say, domicile. For exercise of civil rights, supplement civil obligation, the domicile of the natural person is the place of their habitual residence. So kung saan siya naglalagi. Diba? When creating a law or reorganizing them or any other provision does not fix the domicile or juridical person, the same shall be understood that the place of their legal representation established or where they exercise their principal function. Article 50, good words, domicile of neutral person. Ito, requisite of domicile. 1, physical present. Number 2, sorry. Nasaan na tayo? Taas. Number 2 is intent to remain permanently. 'Diba? Kinds of domicile. Ito, domicile of origin, domicile of parents of a person at the time he was born. Ano po? Domicile chosen by a person, changing his domicile of origin. Third, the requisite is necessary intention not to return to one's domicile's permanent place. So marami tayong klase ng domicile. 'Di ba? What is the difference of a domicile and residence? Residence is not permanent. Domicile is permanent. 'Di ba? Now, let's say your domicile, no? For example, ito yung dun sa permanent residence mo, no, is your domicile. So, kapag nag-fill up ka, there is a point na permanent residence. Yun yung nilalagay mo lagi, no? Kung saan ka pwedeng i-contact, maybe yung ancestral house nyo, yung bahay ng nanay at tatay mo, or whatsoever. Now, your residence is different. Diba? For example, ako, ito, domicile ko, Pilipinas, sa Pangasinan. Diba? Now, my residence is dito sa Thailand. Ganun ba yun? Diba? Ay, naku.
Under the MLC convention provision, domicile refers to the home address. And in the SEC, it's the same when the seafarer filled out his SEC form, place of
Kasi nga, magkaiba nga yun. Diba? Maybe the domicile, the permanent address is different from the residence. Diba?
domicile there refers to his address. In the MLC and in the SEC, domicile means home address.
Your Honor, I am simply informing
Ano na rin, no? Medyo na ano na rin si Senator Pia dito. Medyo iba na yung niya eh, yung punto niya. Hindi na siya yung medyo parang agitated na rin siya.
Yes.
Your Honor, I am simply informing the sponsor that
Mahirap In fairness, no, kay Senator Pia, hindi siya nagpapa-overcome dun sa emotions niya, di ba? But I don't, yung mga ganyang style, no, ibig sabihin yan, there's something wrong. You're not understanding, Rafi Tulfo. Kapag ang isang tao, no, based on their language, they started talking slow, then there's something wrong. It means you don't understand.
under Philippine law, there is a difference between
I
domicile
understand, Your Honor,
and
but it is already understood under the MLC.
You don't understand, Rapi Tulfo. You're pushing that you understand something, well, in fact, you're not. Ang sabi nga, domicile is the permanent, residence is temporary. Saan may ilalagay yung tao?
Provision, domicile means home address, and under the standard employment contract, which the seafarer signed, the word domicile refers to his home address.
Okay.
Yeah, same parehas na address, but those two are different.
Okay, so I will ask His Honor a question. When the seafarer indicates a home address, yung po ba kaya ang kanyang temporary address sa Manila o yung po yung kino-consider niyang permanent home niya sa probinsya? Alin ka?
No, yan, sige. I-explain na sa'yo, guys. Sabi, no, dapat yung abogado mo, yung nag-i-explain sa'yo. Ayan, in-explain na si Senator Pia para sa'yo.
Kaya ho yun doon.
Yung point of hire is Manila. When you say domicile, yun po yung permanent address niya.
No! Rapi Tulfo, no! Ay, naku. Ang sarap tumambling eh. Ito, galing from Visayas ka. Pumunta ka ng Manila. Na-hire ka sa Manila, domicile mo ba Manila? Hindi ba dapat domicile mo Visayas?
Your Honor,
Ay,
as declared doon sa kanyang SEC. Kasi po doon sa SEC,
no, hindi naman sinusulat doon. Domicile, Manila, Philippines. No. Ang sinusulat doon, yung permanent address niya, Rafi Tulfo. What?
idideklara mo yung iyong home address.
Oh,
At
idideklara mo yung home address. Is that Manila? You're generalizing people na dapat pag na-hire kayo dito sa Manila, dapat ang home address nyo Manila. Permanent address nyo Manila.
anong nakalagay doon? Domicile. Wala naman nakalagay doon home address. Nakalagay doon domicile.
Hindi talaga niya gets. Guys, dapat daw domicile. Ay, naku.
Your Honor, I am just putting on record that there are legal differences. Huwag ko kayo magagalit.
No, no.
Ang galit na. Hindi niya hindi niya mag-gets eh. Para tong dun sa kabila yung credit card, 'di ba? Gagalit na kasi hindi niya mag-gets. Ay,
I'm not mad.
May legal
I'm not
differences
mad, Your Honor.
yun.
But-
Ayoko kung malito ang gobyerno at ang ating
Well,
pong
yung
mga
gobyerno po hindi
seafarers.
malilito. I'm sure.
Sir,
no, you cannot say you're sure with something. Rafi Tulfo. What? Seryoso ka? Iba't iba na ng interpretation ng law. Ngayon pa lang iba't iba na ng interpretation. Tapos sasabihin mo, no, the government will not. Hindi sila malilito rito. I certify you. Ay, ito ang hirap eh. Diba? Ito yung hirap talaga. Sabi ko sa inyo.
there are
The
legal
government-
differences. So if we do not
Suspended.
clarify,
Hindi naman natin pwedeng baguhin lahat dahil sa kagustuhan mo para
What? That's personal already, Rafi Tulfo. Seryoso? That's a personal attack already. You're talking about the law. Not about what Senator Pia wants, but to clean the vagueness of the law. Paano nangyaring kagustuhan mo?
not clarify,
Hindi naman natin pwedeng baguhin lahat dahil sa kagustuhan mo para
Ay, wow! Seryoso? Ad hoc na. Seryoso ka? Pag di kasi na-sort out yang, tapos vague ang terminologies na ginagamit, magkakaproblema yan in the future pag na-implement. Ad hominem na. Ininsulto na siya eh. Diba? Wala na. Ininsulto ba ni Senator Pia si Senator Rafi Tulfo? Ito medyo ano yung ano ko Senator Rafi Tulfo. Diba hindi? They're just talking about the law. Tapos ngayon, hindi ka makaribat, hindi ka usad doon sa residence at domicile. Ad hominem mo na. Ay, guys. Magiging president, yan ang magiging president sa 2028? Nilamon siya ng buo eh. Diba? Next. Buti na lang magaling nung nagkakainitan na at biglang session suspend.
Let's put it. Okay, Mr. President, let's put it on record that domicile and home address is one and the same.
His Honor means residence.
Place
Yes.
of residence, just like what you asked, Your Honor.
Wow. Just like what you asked. Ikaw na nga, Ikaw na nga pinaliwanagan. Parang ano pa, parang, oh, sige, gusto mo yan eh.
Yun lang naman po, para maliwanag tayo. Thank you, Mr. President, for the clarification. I will continue to listen to the amendments. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Dun, lipat tayo. Si ano to eh, si Risa, ang susunod dito. Ata. Tama ba? Ay, hindi, meron pa.
Yes.
And Your Honor, we'll be giving you a clean copy, and I already told my staff to give you a clean copy of all.
Type that out. Parang if this is the new provision that
Shall be borne by the ship owner.
Dali. Ano natin ha?
On, dapat nga, on same page.
Uy,
page
maraming
34,
salamat
line
sa 1K
7
viewers
to
natin. No?
8, delete the praise of ships by shipping page, add the praise, all costs related to the rescue, including transport of the seafarers, remains, and personal effects, and the provision of financial security in case of abandonment as may be applicable to domestic seafarers shall be.
I-forward natin konti guys ha. May gusto ako ditong part eh. Ito ba yun? Dami na namang strikeout dito eh.
because the word residence, as far as I know, does not appear.
But domicile and
Ito na naman sila sa domicile, guys. Teacher Mark, I am here because I am Sean Wayne. Maraming salamat, Diamond. Welcome.
I would like to put it in record, Mr. President, before anything else, that in the definition of terms, there will be a definition of domicile and place of residence for clarity purposes. The reason why I used the word domicile and said that it's one and the same, just because or only because in the MLC and the standard employment contract, domicile refers to the home address of the seafarer.
Hindi talaga siya makaget over. Akala ko okay na eh. Di ba, pumapalag pa, guys. Kumbaga, yung manok eh, bulagta na, pero ano, sumisipa pa.
But in the definition of terms, we have to separate the definition of domicile and place of residence, Mr. President,
Thank you for that clarification.
Your Honor.
Could you repeat your previous motion, just for...
I'm sorry, Mr.
You
President.
had a previous motion?
Actually, Mr. President, we will await the definition because the word residence, as far as I know, does not appear in the bill. So as to how it will be defined and how it relates to the other definitions in the bill, we will look at it, Your Honor, to help His Honor make sure that it is consistent.
The other amendments first, go back to the
Okay, does the sponsor,
Your Honor is the sponsor.
I'm sorry, does,
Nakalimutan niya. Siya yung sponsor, guys. Ayaw niya na. Top out na, guys. Top out na. Siya yung nagde-defend, guys. Ayaw niya na, guys. Promise. Ibang sponsor naman, guys. Iba na yung sponsor. Ayaw niya na, guys.
a sponsor, okay, does the sponsor,
Your Honor is the sponsor.
I'm sorry, does the, Your Honor, Mr. President, does the,
Choke na, guys. Na-choke. Napahiya na naman si Idol. Na-choke uli, guys. Ay, naku.
a good senator from Taguig wants us to come up with the definition of terms now where it
No,
will
Your Honor,
appear
at
the
His
word,
Honor's- Mr. President, at His Honor's convenience.
I'm sorry,
I I was saying that the definition of terms can be produced at His Honor's convenience. I was simply pointing out that
All right.
the term residence does not
Nakakahiya.
appear, but there is a section 28 where it refers to residential address, I think. I'm just pointing that out so that the team that is drafting can take that into consideration.
Okay.
Now, let's proceed with the
If,
amendments first.
if the good senator from Taguig would allow us to proceed with the other amendments, and then we can just go back to the
So, tapos
issues
na ata
that
dito.
are being raised by her honor.
Of course, His
pertaining to-
Honor has the floor. His Honor was making his amendment on section 63,
Okay,
and I was simply asking for a copy so
Thank
I
you.
could follow the amendment.
thank you, Madam Senator. Thank you. Okay, now, can we proceed now, Mr. President?
Yes, please
Your
proceed.
Honor?
Ay, tuwa na siya. Sabi, yes, tapos na. Ay, naku. Di ba? Ganito ka pala kahirap. Di ba? Meron susunod dyan. Si Risa naman. Tapos, gusto niyo pa ba guys? Tuloy ba natin do? Meron pa dyan si Pia guys. Gusto niyo pa ba guys? Tuloy na natin o ano? Hello, hello, Corazon. Go, 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 go. Sige. Laktawan muna natin yung kay Risa, no? Punta tayo uli. Siyempre, since Pia Day tayo ngayon, Pia Day uli. Bukas na naman. Pero, kawawa na naman siya dito eh. Iyak na naman siya parte dito eh. In parts, ayun, UB time. O, sige. So, if that is the case, no? Tuloy pa? Tuloy lang? O press 1 kung tuloy lang, press 2 kung second part natin. Kasi naka 1 hour and 30 minutes na rin tayo. Press 1 kung tuloy pa, press 2 kung part 2 natin. Masama ako mabitin. Parang nakita ko si Brad. medyo alanganin tayo kay Brad. 1, 2, 1. Oh, 1 sabi ni attorney. Sige. Tuloy natin. Okay, next one.
Is a very good definition. I commend him for that. Mas klaro talaga siya, and for the ng bilang ng ending, we have a provision on the right to educational.
Ito.
It's clear enough to me. So if His Honor would like to make the amendment, he can make the amendment. I was just, as I said, pointing out
Continue,
that
enjoy.
there may be
Hindi,
need for
hindi,
clarity.
dito.
So His Honor may make the amendment.
Mr. President, Your Honor, kasi pag seafarer ka, dapat
One. So, Your Honor, we're not really introduced by
Ito.
actually as an advisor.
So, inalis na yun, ano? Tinanggal na natin yung cadets. Strike.
Educational advancement and training.
Okay. What is the proposed amendment, Your Honor?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, my amendment,
May amendment pala dito. Wait lang.
bill ng sponsor natin kung maganda yan. At ang akin hong mga comments, hindi lang ho dahil kagustuhan ko, katulad po ng sinabi ng ating sponsor.
Oh! Uy! May pahabol, guys. Akala mo nakalimutan ko na, ha? May pahabol pala. Akala mo nakalimutan ko na?
Ikagaganda ho ng bill yan.
I understand, Mr. President, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
I understand. Ay, naku, lutong.
So, Mr. President, I will proceed with a very few amendments, and some of which may not be necessary, depending on the response of His Honor. Kasi again, most of them are clarificatory. So on page 8, section 7, We have a provision on the right to educational advancement and training at reasonable and affordable cost.
Actually, meron na yan sa MLC, no? Kinopya niya lang, tapos nilagay dito.
So sabi dito, seafarer shall have access to educational advancement and training at reasonable and affordable cost. No fees or other charges other than tuition and other miscellaneous fees shall be imposed on cadets, interns, apprentices, on-the-job trainees, or other persons similarly situated.
Ito. Section 7.
May I know if the bill defines cadets, interns, apprentices, and on-the-job trainings to ensure and those cadets, interns, apprentices, on-the-job trainees. I see that there is a definition for cadets, and the reason for my question is simply because we don't want there to be confusion na, ay, intern yan, ay, hindi yan intern, ay, hindi on-the-job training yan. So, sino po sila? Para maproteksyon na natin itong provision na ito na magbibigay sa kanila ng reasonable and affordable educational advancement and training.
So, parang gusto ni Senator Pia, it is spread out, no? Naka-classify kung ano ba. Because here, it is only seafarers. Diba? So, it's vague. Tapos, ang nakasulat dito, no fees, tuition, cadets, intern, apprentice, on-the-job trainees, and other persons similar situated. Tapos,
Okay. What is the proposed amendment, Your Honor?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, my amendment will depend on the response to my question. Kasi hindi ho ako makapagawa ng amendment kung hindi ko po alam kung meron ho bang mga difference ang mga binanggit ko na types of students.
Because in the definition of terms, Mr. President, Your Honor, the cadets and interns, apprentices has been defined already.
Cadets, interns, and apprentices. Anong section po? Kasi section 4B is the definition of cadets. Hindi ko po nakita yung definition ng iba.
So ang gusto dito ni Senator Pia, makuha niya rin yung definition nung interns, apprentice, on-job trainees. Tama. So para magkaroon siya ng personal amendment kung may babaguhin ba. Kasi nga, ang nakasulat dito, cadet lang, sabi niya.
From my provision, you can remove the interns, apprentices, on the job trainings.
Okay.
Alam niyo ba kung gaano katagal to? 6 na oras to, guys. 6 na oras siyang... Tapos kaninang umaga, no, or kaninang tanghapon, sabi niya, konti na lang, mawapasan na. 6 na oras siyang sinunog.
All right, Mr. President, Your Honor, to avoid confusion,
Hello, Ray Biana, sabi dito, si idol nila hindi nakaranas ng term paper.
we will amend and remove interns, apprentices, and on-the-job trainees, and leave the word cadets instead.
So cadet lang yung pwede. No fees or other charge other than the tuition or other miscellaneous fee shall be imposed to cadets only. Paano yung mga interns, apprentices, on-job trainees? So, there will be a fee for them. Ganun ba yun?
Or other persons similarly situated.
Lahat
So, instead of defining it, alisin na lang natin. Ayun, Rodrigo La Pastora, shoutout sa'yo.
po yun, tatanggalin nyo.
Yes, Your Honor. So matitira na lang po yung cadets or other persons similarly situated.
So in other words, Your Honor, the students you are referring to are all cadets.
They're all cadets, Your Honor.
So kadete na lang ngayon. Bawal na yung mga interns, apprentices. Tapos mga OGT. So yun.
So pati okay, I take it's clear enough to me. So if his honor would like to make the amendment, he can make the amendment. I was just, as I said, pointing out that there may be need for clarity. So his honor may make the amendment if he so desires.
I so move, Mr. President.
Para na lang mapabilis na. Sige na lang.
There being no objection to the amendment of our distinguished colleague, amendment is approved. Please proceed.
Grabe, madugo pala si Senator Piap, no? Pag siya yung nag-aano. Masakit sa uro, pare.
So, inalis na yun, ano? Tinanggal na natin.
Opo. Opo, inalis na po. Naintindihan ba niya yung sinasabi niya, guys? We will remove, guys. Tapos tatanungin niya, so inalis na yun.
Natin yung cadets. Strike down. Hindi, kaya nga. Inalis na yung interest sa ka-trainees.
Kakasabi lang. Hindi niya naintindihan, guys. Ano yan?
So, stop on cadets and then all other persons, alis na rin yun.
Oo,
We
opo.
start-
Okay.
Opo, alis na po yun lahat.
So, shall be imposed on cadets.
So, wait.
So,
Saan ang amendment?
clear na.
Please proceed with the other amendments. Your honors.
Just tell me what the political opinion is of the past. After political opinion. And line what?
25.
Tawag dito, na-stutter si Idol. Hindi niya sukat akalain na mag-interpolate si Senator Pia in details, no? Na yung amendments ni Senator Pia in details talaga. Na-stutter siya.
Your Honor, on page 10, line 25, after the word opinion, insert the phrase health status or medical history. And the reason for this, Your Honor, is that we do have basis to show that there has been
Section 10.
health and medical history discrimination against our OFWs, including seafarers, even ailments that are not prejudicial to their companions. They would be barred from applying, Your Honor. And so we would like that phrase inserted.
Actually, marami rin ganyan, no? Yung mga seaman na hindi na nakakasampa because of their certain ailments, kahit na naman hindi iyon sobrang malalang ailments, no? They are barred to be on board.
We
Thank you,
submit,
Mr.
Your-
President, Your Honor. What kind of medical history are you referring to, Mr. President, Your Honor? Kasi pag seafarer ka, dapat physically and mentally fit ka to do the job because the job of a seafarer is not an easy one. Medyo very physical po yun. And you should always be up to
Well, that depends. There are certain kinds of seafarers. We have yung mga nagtatrabaho sa mga oil tankers, yung mga nasa engineering department, yung nasa transportation department. Meron din tayong mga nasa sa fishing vessels. Diba? So every job have certain degree of or level ng kung gaano kahirap. Diba? Cruise, diba?
the demands of the job,
Yes.
especially sa sea na kung saan maalon and palagi ka dapat attentive. So therefore, you must be physically and mentally healthy. So ano pong ibig niyo sabihin sa discrimination against medical condition. Ano medical condition po, Your Honor, are you referring to?
Yes, the actual phrase is health status or medical history. I note that this,
What health status, Your Honor?
yes, Your Honor, I am explaining.
Okay.
So,
Wait lang, singit ka ng singit eh. This is a debate that you're doing. Ay, naku, Rafi Tulfo. Sino hindi mapipikon sa'yo, guys?
What health status, Your Honor?
yes, Your Honor, I am explaining.
Okay.
So,
Supalpal na naman. Boy, singit talaga eh.
before I give the example, I'd like to point out that this provision, this line that I inserted comes before the phrase that states, taking into consideration the inherent requirements of the particular job or undertaking. So it is noted, Your Honor, that there are physical requirements demanded of this position. So the health status or medical history that I will give as an example that has a history of discrimination is hepatitis B. And we worked on this for many years, and DOLE actually has an advisory number 5 in 2010 that there shall be no discrimination of any form against workers on the basis of their hepatitis B status, consistent with the international agreements on non-discrimination ratified by the Philippines, ILOC 111. So, Your Honor, we're not really introducing anything new. We understand that there are demands of the job. We leave it up to the best judgment of the employer, and I know that we already have conventions in place protecting this. It is just consistent, Your Honor, and using that as an example.
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor, I see your point. If you're talking
Na naman yung sa IC your point. Sige.
about medical history, as long as hindi kasama doon yung present health condition, then I will accept, Your Honor.
Actually, Your Honor, again, I will repeat, the phrase that I use is health status. When His Honor says, as long as it is just history, he will accept,
Regardless if it is now or previous, no? Hindi yun tapos na, nakalipas na, 'di ba? No. Included yung now.
Medical
It is-
history.
it is very possible that a person's health status includes being positive for hepatitis B, but that does not in any way impair his ability to run a marathon, to climb a tree, to break world records, and that is precisely why there is that DOLE advisory that prevents discrimination of any kind. Again, I emphasize that this is not something new. I'm just using it as an example to be sure na covered po ito dito kasi yan po ang status nila, meron po sila niyan. Pero hindi naman ho na-i-impair ang kanilang kondisyon. Now, if
Yes, they can still work or function normally regardless na kung meron man silang hepatitis or what. 'Di ba? Ang inang sinasabi ni dito ni Senator Pia, bakit i-discriminate meron ng order ang DOH na wag. 'Di ba? So this law should be up should consider that as well, or hindi consider should put that as well kasi may may advisory ng DOH 'di ba?
in fact, debilitated po sila, iba yon kasi their condition is impaired.
Okay,
I see your point but I don't understand.
pagdating po kasi sa PME, Mr. President, Your Honor, at nakita doon na positive ka sa hepatitis B, baka hindi ka po matatanggap na sasampa sa barko because of that. And there is a requirement kasi, Mr. President, Your Honor, na lahat ng mga sasampa sa barko, wala pong present medical condition, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Well, perhaps would His Honor like to table this and ask his resource person to check with DOLE, because I have already mentioned 3 times that this is
So it will be conflict dun sa sinabi ng DOLE
there is a DOLE advisory on this, and this is consistent with ILOC 111. So I am willing to have this tabled so we don't have to take up all the time. Let's proceed with the others, and may we ask the sponsors resource person.
Magiging conflict siya. So parang i-disregard mo yung advisory ng DOLE, no? Parang hayaan nyo na lang 'yun. Ito lang. Well, in fact, they're telling na bawal ang discrimination. 'Di ba? Nakasulat dito, right against discrimination, but you're discriminating those people na may hepatitis even though they can work well.
To confer with DOLE.
Yes, go ahead, Your Honor. We can go to the next and then go back to that matter later. Mr. President, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. On Section 21, there is an enumeration of duties of a seafarer. And letter E states, to continually improve one's professional competency by keeping up to date with the latest technological and scientific development applied in various maritime fields, continuous education, and keen observation of shipboard activities. I repeat, that is Section
Your Honor?
21, line E, page 13.
Line, Section 21,
Section 21, letter E.
letter E.
It is
Okay.
on page 13.
Okay. To continually improve one's professional competency by keeping up to date with the latest technological and scientific developments applied in various maritime fields, continuous education and keen observation of shipboard activities. What is it that you want to amend here, Your Honor?
Yes, so again, I have a question first before I proceed with an amendment.
Okay.
My question po would be a bit technical. Ano ho ba ang current practice ngayon when it comes to professional continuous education? What kind of continuous education? How often? And is it just the officers or is it the non-officers who are also
Technical nga yan.
required? And who normally pays for this, Your Honor? Kasi under this provision, it would
Technical nga yan. Kasi we don't know, no? Who are conducting those, tapos kung sino yung mga kumukuha nun nung mga courses na ganun.
be the duty of the seafarer, and I want to be sure. I am very pro continuous education, but I would like to know what the practice is kasi baka naman yung mga non-officers mahirapan sila. The minority floor leaders on the floor with us, and he will agree with me that nakakatulong naman yata yung MCLE, yung continuous education naming mga abogado, but lawyers can pay, but many times it is their law offices that would pay for it. So I just want to know the practice sa seafarer.
Actually, pahirap nga yun sa mga teachers, di ba? Bago ka kumuha ng mag-renew, no? Kailangan mag-aral uli.
Para hindi naman po dagdag na bigat ito, although we do really want them to have access to continuing education. Because it is phrased as a duty.
May naubaran na rito.
Letter E, minority floor leader.
It depends on the kind of ship that the seafarer is on board. I'm
Kamot na siya, guys.
expressing your honor.
Oh.
Kasi merong ship na kailangan continuous upgrading yung mga seafarers na nakasampa doon para tumugma naman po yung kanyang skills, yung kanyang knowledge doon sa ship na mas mataas ang grade at mas technologically advanced than another ship, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, but the question was, who pays? What is the practice?
The ship owner, Mr. President, Your Honor, the ship owner.
So that is not clear in this bill, Your Honor. It would appear from my perusal that it is the duty of the seafarer.
To continually improve one's professional competency. Okay. So Senator Pia wants to include here. Gusto niyang i-include, no, na kung, no, kung gusto mong mag-improve dun sa professional competency mo, no, at gusto ni Raffy Tulfo, 'di ba, na ang mag-shoulder ng cost nun yung mga kumpanya, dapat ilagay mo rito. Kasi kung hindi yan nakalagay rito, the vagueness itself will create na bakit namin i-shoulder yan, wala namang nakasulat sa batas. Now, if you want to compel them to pay for it, so dapat ilagay mo siya.
Fairer. So kung ang nagbabayad naman owner, baka ho pwedeng liwanagin natin at the expense of the ship owner.
I agree, Mr. President, Your Honor.
So may I make that formal amendment that in letter E, which is page 13, line 12 to 14,
Naging pirata. 1.1K.
subject
Ayan,
to
maraming
style,
salamat,
to add
guys.
the phrase at the expense of the ship owner. But sorry, before I make that formal amendment, may I ask His Honor's resource person, it's the ship owner, no, not the manning agency. So
Ship
the
owner.
okay. So the amendment is at the expense of the ship owner, subject to style, if it's at the beginning of the phrase or at the end.
The manning agency is the representative of the ship owner, Mr. President, because the ship owners are based in abroad, and the manning agency is based here in the Philippines. So the seafarers deals with the manning agency all the time.
So, it should be manning agency, not the ship owner.
Mr. President, Your Honor. So pwede na rin po yung
But what if it will be conducted abroad? 'Di ba? Hindi lang naman kasi sa Pilipinas, hindi ka lang naman pwede sa Pilipinas mag-aral. When it comes to your professional competency, pwede kang mag-aral din abroad. So how will that work?
yung
But I think it's still the obligation of the ship owner, no?
exactly.
Okay.
Pareho lang po yun, manning agency or ship owner, kasi representative po ng ship owner ay yung manning agency. So
So what's the point na sinabi mo pa yung manning agency? Raffy Tulfo, ship owner na lang, hayaan mo na lang yun.
pwede natin ilagay manning agency, pwede natin ilagay ship owner as long as hindi po yung mismong seafarer ang magbabayad. So I think it's suffice.
Well,
The minority leader is raising his hand. The
Okay,
minority-
with the permission of our colleagues, so I think this is a timely question to ask. Is it clear that in our measure that the liability of the ship owner is solidary with the manning agency and also the other way around?
That is correct,
Okay,
Mr. President, Your Honor.
Is it found in our measure? Kasi kung hindi, we are ready to also propose a provision to make that very explicit, Mr. President.
Hmm.
So at the proper page and proper time, we will do it, Mr. President.
I agree with you,
Thank you.
minority leader.
Ayun nga pala, guys, I would like to greet Chabs, no? Ang ating bunso, happy birthday. Ayun, happy birthday sa'yo.
Coco Pimentel, Senator Coco Pimentel. And you have a point, and I accept.
Thank you. So we will do it. We will do it in due time, Mr. President,
Yes.
at the proper place in the bill, Mr. President.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. President, I made my amendment, but is His Honor sure that the practice is it is always the ship owner? Because I got information
Ayan na naman, guys. Next. Ay, nako.
that the practice
153 likes. Like din tayo, guys, no? Maraming salamat.
is it is always the ship owner, because I got information from Amosop that sometimes they pass it on to the seafarers. So I'm not trying to reinvent the practice, but of course I would prefer that it is the ship owner. So I think that has to be a judgment call, or I defer to the wisdom of the sponsor, kung ano din ang talaga bang sinasabi ng mga resource persons natin.
Next. So, ang sinasabi dito ni Senator Pia, hindi all the time, no? Ang sumasalo niyan yung mga ship owner. Minsan, ang sumasalo niyan ay yung mga seafarers natin.
Accept. What is it that you want to amend again, Your Honor?
No, 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 no. It's not about amendment. It's about clarification.
What is it that you want to amend again, Your Honor?
Your Honor, based on, Mr. President, based on the sponsor's response, that what is the practice? What is the current practice? Who pays for the continuous training? The answer the sponsor gave was, it is the ship owner. So I was already making that amendment. However, I just went out of my way to also ask Amosop, who His Honor recognizes as a leader in protecting the rights of seafarers. And I was told that depending on the agreement, sometimes it is the seafarer who pays. So I'm not trying to reinvent anything, but of course I would like the seafarers not to have to pay. Pero hindi ko alam kung malaking bagay ito sa mga companies. Usually naman daw, sila ang nagbabayad.
Agree naman po sa mga gumagana.
So,
Okay.
it appears that,
The common practice, Mr. President, Your Honor, if it's required by the STCW, then it should be the employer, meaning the ship owners.
If it is required.
And that is the present setup, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Standard situation.
I'm sorry. According to Amasop,
okay.
according to Amasop, since the Amasop has been quoted, so they are here and they just,
Hindi naman nila alam kung sinong ka-text ko sa Amosop. So, hindi ko naman papakita ko sa inyo yung pangalan, alam nyo na. But anyway, off the record naman. Ako naman po, I'm just asking what's the practice. I think, so
Bulong-bulong.
are we comfortable saying that it is the ship owners that will pay? It will give us leverage,
I think that's better, no?
in fighting for our seafarers. So that is the amendment, Your Honor.
that is
Subject
correct.
to style.
Mr. President, Your Honor, we already agreed, we already accepted the amendment that you're proposing, that we will put here the ship owner who will,
Guys, there's something wrong already. Puro na siya. Hindi na siya hindi na siya spontaneous like earlier, no? There's something wrong already. Sabi dito, TBH, Sich, mawawalan tayo ng employer sa barko if ganito ang kalakaran. Well, ginusto ni Rapi Tulfo yan eh.
take over the charges,
Okay.
President, Your Honor.
There being no objection from the sponsor, the amendment is approved.
Thank you. Your Honor, my next amendment, if I make an amendment, would be on section 23. I'll give the sponsor a moment to catch up with that page. Section, this is the
May ano
page.
dito eh.
All PEME, which is the
Guys. Handa na ba kayong lap trip uli? Ayan. Oh, PEME, Pre-Employment Medical Examination. So, pakinggan nyo maigi guys ha. Lap trip ulit tayo.
examination. So this provision states, all PEME, which is the pre-employment medical examination of seafarers, shall be performed only in DOH accredited medical facilities by authorized government medical practitioners and following the standards set by DOH.
Okay.
My question first, Your Honor, is,
Mali naman. 23. Ayan. Okay, so tanong.
kailangan ho ba ang magko-conduct ng medical exam ay government practitioner?
Okay ha, malinaw ha. Kailangan po ba na ang magkakandak ng exam ay authorized government medical practitioner? Napakalinaw naman ng tanong. Sige.
No, government accredited medical facilities. That a facility, it does.
Naintindihan kaya ni Idol yung tanong? Ha? Nakasulat yan ha? By authorized government medical practitioner. Ang sinagot ni Idol, no. Ayan ha?
Ay government practitioner?
No, government accredited medical facilities.
Government accredited medical facilities. So sinong nagtatrabaho dun sa DOH ano no, yung government accredited medical facilities? Sinong nagtatrabaho dun? Eh di ba yung mga authorized government medical practitioners? Ay,
That a facility, it doesn't have to be government, but it has to be accredited by the government.
but no, you said it shouldn't, it can be not government owned, diba? Ito.
Medical facilities.
Mm.
That a facility, it doesn't have to be government, but it has to be accredited by the government.
But it has to be accredited by the government. Pero ang nakasulat kasi dito, by authorized government medical practitioners. So, it doesn't follow. Kung private ka, does that, for example, St. Luke's, are they authorized by the government as a medical practitioner?
He's not,
DOH, meaning government here refers to DOH, should be accredited by the Department of Health.
You don't follow Rapi Tulfo.
It
Yeah.
can be,
yes, Your Honor, but if you read the next line,
Sabi niya, in short, no, opo, but basahin niyo yung susunod. Parang may kulang. Ay.
if you read the next line,
DOH accredited medical facilities, it doesn't say here,
Rafi Tulfo, read the next line. Don't defend. Read. By authorized government medical practitioners. Rafi Tulfo, read, not defend.
only in government medical facilities. If you will notice, it says DOH accredited.
Your
It
Honor,
doesn't say only in government medical facilities.
You're answering the wrong question, Rafi Tulfo. The question is not about if credited ba or hindi, Rafi Tulfo. The question is authorized, kung ito'y ko-conduct ba ng authorized government medical practitioner. Doon lang ba?
DOH accredited meaning it could be a private clinic,
Oh, tapos?
yes,
but accredited by the DOH.
that is
Tama,
correct,
tama.
Your Honor, but there, yes,
But accredited by the DOH.
that is correct, Your Honor, but there is another line after that.
Alam mo, ang sarap, yung ginagawa ni Kayo, yung sumisigaw. Tapos nandiyan ka sa Senado. Ang layo.
I read the whole provision. It states DOH accredited medical facility by authorized government medical practitioners. What does that mean?
Authorized government practitioners. Because other, even private practitioners can.
Okay. In that sense, Mr. President, Your Honor, I accept removing the word
Wala pang amendment, Rafi Tulfo. What do you accept? Wala pang ina-amend, wala pang sinabing pwede bang alisin to? Sunog na sunog eh.
by authorized, by government the word
Choke. Choke na siya, guys. Simple solution, di ba? Ba't di natin alisin? Ay. I see your point. I agree. I accept. Yun na lang. Doon na lang umikot.
authorized by government, the word government
Na-choke na siya, guys. Hindi niya na alam. Ay. Sunog na sunog si Serapi dito. Dapat kasi ang kinukuha mong mag-amid niyan yung isa eh. Yung IT developer para mabilis lang.
by government, the word government,
Oh. Hindi. I accept to remove. Tapos nawala na siya, guys. Ay, naku. Earth calling to Serapi. Nandyan pa ba?
by authorized, by government,
Ano?
the word government, the word government. So it will read, all payment of seafarers shall be performed only in DOH accredited medical facilities by authorized government.
Inalis mo na nga yung government. Ay. Sabi mo, alisin yung government. Ito alinaw eh.
The word government, the word by authorized, by government, the word government,
Oo. Alisin mo yung the word government. O tapos basa.
the word government.
Hmm.
So it will read, all payment of seafarers shall be performed only in DOH accredited medical facilities by authorized government.
I cannot. Inalis mo na Rapi Tulfo. Oh. Naintindihan mo pa ba yung sinasabi mo? Ini-strike out mo yung government. Alisin na yung government, di ba? Oh, so, all PME of seafarers shall be performed only in DOH accredited medical facilities by authorized medical practitioner. No more government. Anong authorized government? ang mag titingin doon sa mga mga seafarers natin, yung gobyerno natin. Ha? Rapi Tulfo. Authorized government? Seryoso ka? Ay, nako. Mas humiliation to.
No, by authorized medical practitioners.
It's too late. You already said it. Tapos sasabihin mo, no. Naging loro si Idol. Monkey si Monkey do. Ganun.
And that is the confusing part, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
I have not
By
made an
authorized medical,
Ito susupalpalin na naman siya, guys. Ito ha. Susupalpalin na naman siya rito.
I'm sorry.
I have not
By
made an
authorized medical practitioners, Your Honor.
I can make the amendment if His Honor would like me to help.
It says
Wala pa akong ginagawang amendment. That is the confusing part. I haven't made an amendment. Tapos sasabihin niya, I can help you with the amendment kung gusto mo.
I have not
by
made an
authorized medical practitioners, Your Honor.
I can make the amendment if His Honor would like me to help.
That's sarcasm. Guys. Pwede kong gawin yung amendment kung gusto mo na tumulong ako. Kasi wala pa akong ginagawang amendment eh. Seryoso. Ay.
It says all peme of
Sige, pilit mo pa.
seafarers. Go ahead.
Ipilit mo pa. Sige. Na-realize niya rin. Oo nga pala, no? Ay.
Peme of seafarers. Go ahead. Do the amendment, Your Honor.
Ay. Nakakahiya. Na-realize niya rin eh. Nung tumawa siya, nangiti siya eh. Na-realize niya, oo nga pala, wala pang amendment. Sarap kainin ng lupa ni Idol.
Do the honors.
Yes, Your Honor, my
Pumalpak ako dun. Pumalpak ako dun.
amendment would be to delete the phrase by authorized government medical practitioners and such that the whole sentence would read, all PEME of seafarers shall be performed only in DOH accredited medical facilities following the standards set by DOH.
I accept.
Ang bilis.
There is no objection.
Ang bilis, guys. Ang dami niyang pinaglaban kanina. Diba? Nung inamen, I accept. with all conviction yun, guys. Hello, Jepoy. Ang bilis. Seryoso ka, Del.
Seafarers shall be performed only in DOH accredited medical facilities following the standards set by DOH.
I accept.
There is no objection to the sponsor. Amendments approved.
Thank you, Mr. President. This one is just a clarification. If it is
Okay. So, magsa 7:15 na, guys. Tama na yun. Let's end with a good note, guys. Let's end with a good note. Tama na yung I accept na super fast, no? Mag-start na si Atty. Libayan, 7:15, guys. Tama na yung mag-end tayo ng tumatawa, guys. Kay attorney tayo, I accept, no? Kay attorney tayo, I accept, guys. So, yun lamang para sa atin, guys. I'll see you sa live na Attorney Libayan. We're almost 2 hours mahigit tayo, no? So, I'll see you sa live na Attorney Libayan. Huwag kalimutan kumain ng tama sa oras. This is your Teacher Mark, and I'll see you later. Teacher Mark out. Bye-bye, guys.